All right, and we have a great semifinal in ESL Americas Cup number 91. We have a rematch of a grand final a couple weeks ago in iNSUPERABLE versus ToD. Human versus Undead, some of the highest caliber matchup you're going to find here in ESL Cup Americas. And it's coming at you. Best of 3 series is going to be starting on Tidehunters. And iNSUP going for the standard opener. Ghoul's coming out, going to see a Lich. He does like to do Lich first against Human, contrary to some advice from other top Undead players and other players of races all around who do not recommend the Lich first approach, but iNSUP has gotten so good at it, he's doing it anyway. ToD going for the Archmage opener that we all are so accustomed to. Do expect him to hit the Sea Giant camp first, followed by the Expo. And then he usually likes to pull this. And then follow it up with this. 1, 2, 3, 4. Really quick back to back to back. We'll see if he goes for that again this time. Sending the Scout Footman. Going to see what the state of affairs are. Sees the Lich, confirms what he's thinking was going to happen all along. And knowing iNSUPERABLE, playing him before, had to have known this was coming. Footy's going to go in, cause some problems for the Acolytes. As expected, going for the Sea Giant camp first. Gets a Gloves of Haste, not bad.
A town is under siege.
Brought 5 militia over, going to send them back home. Rather than going right for the fast Expo.
A player's forces are
Only
under
has 2
attack.
farms at the moment. Going to go for this gold mine instead. So I'd love to pick ToD's brain on why this mine versus the easier mine. But this is the mine ToD will be going for nonetheless with 6 militia. Sending 1 militia back home. Lich on the way over. Lich probably going to actually go here, and might be why ToD's doing it, to buy a little bit more time. Has the 3rd farm up here, going for the 4 farm Expo. Very standard. Pulling the militia back. The Lich now taking the long way to the Expo. So the Expo going to be quite safe, and now you can see probably what ToD had planned all along. Buys plenty of time for his Expo, as the Lich is now busy with the main base. Gonna get quite a bit of damage done. Already a deny on one of the peasants. ToD so good at denying units, but didn't get that one. 1 peasant goes to the Lich and gets him level 2. A deny of iNSUP's own coming. Gonna deny that. That was an easy one for ToD. Gonna deny that XP, and now the boys are called. They're getting the work. A nice Frost Nova onto the plethora of militia.
A town is under siege.
Skeleton Warriors doing plenty of damage to the militia. They're gonna be able to take care of that last Skeleton Warrior. And Footies versus Ghouls going on right now. Footies taking quite a bit of damage. Gonna be able to ease their way into the back of the base. Will be denied by a Footman. Nice attention to detail there by ToD. All the militia are called now. Even the gold militia called, and he feels okay doing that because he has peasants mining gold over here. Unfortunately, one of them idle, but quickly fixes it. Couple militia trying to take care of the remainder of iNSUP's army. iNSUP hasn't left this base since the beginning onslaught. Going to be able to get a nice deny there, courtesy of Dark Ritual. And some Footies and Water Elemental at the Expo. Going to be able to take care of that as well. Both players safely Expo'd. Necropolis coming up. A nice teleportation checkpoint. Another Dark Ritual to deny. iNSUP not feeding much XP over to ToD, although ToD managed to find level 3 anyway. Bought the boots of speed. Now the Lich is a speedy boy, and is going to be even faster when the Death Knight comes out with Unholy Aura. All these weak ghouls getting onto the Blight. Going to be full health in the next 10 minutes. No problemo. As ToD now going for some of iNSUP's green camps. And now ToD making his way into iNSUP's Expo. iNSUP, another nice Frost Nova, going to give him level 3 and the level 2 Frost Nova he's been looking for. Level 2 Frost Nova is going to start doing quite a bit of damage, as the Water Elemental and Archmage doing a lot of damage too. The Necropolis, which is just about ready to finish. Another denied footman by ToD. And you're just seeing so many denies left and right. This level 2 Water Elemental going to be able to do quite a bit of damage to these ghouls.
A player's forces are under attack.
Got some ghouls and skeleton warriors right-clicked onto the Archmage. Going to chase him all the way back to where he came from at the main base. Meanwhile, Footy's heading on up. Still a relatively unprotected Expo. Would love to see an Arcane Vault. There it is, coming on up. Expo's going to be a little bit easier to defend now. Scout Tower coming up a little bit late. But hopefully it's just enough to get some defense. Two of ToD's peasants, very weak. Moving on over, away from the Skeleton Warriors, as the ghouls and Skeleton Warriors going to town onto the Lumber Peasants. Meanwhile, up north, ToD disrupting the Expo of iNSUP, sending the Acolytes out of the gold mine. Meanwhile, back down in ToD's base, the remainder of the peasant line trying to deal with the summoned Skeleton Warriors and the ghouls. Lich taking care of some of the footies left and right. ToD calling, ringing the bells, but no one is answering. There's no more peasants left. Finally, ToD has enough to defend this Expo. Footies continue to chop away at the Acolytes, finally forcing iNSUP to call the remaining ghouls. 7 ghouls coming over from the main base to try to assist. Another Acolyte falls, and ToD calls timeout. Lag spikes. Not for me. So we're going to deal with some of these technical issues, get right back into the action. All right, both players are ready to retry this, hopefully with no lag spikes this time. Footy's retreating back, very weak. ToD definitely going to lose 2 of them, maybe even 3, but one of them is going to get away with his life. Archmage continuing to creep up in the middle of the map and take down the giant sea turtle camp. Meanwhile, the Expo becoming formidable. Going to see a blacksmith, I'm sure, dropped any second now.
A player's forces are under attack.
Going to start to do quite a bit of damage to these ghouls. These level 2 water elementals start doing so much damage to these ghouls. And now the Lich taking a lot of damage from the focus fire of ToD's Archmage. Archmage stutter stepping, has boots of speed of his own, will be able to match the speed of the Lich. But not before Dark Ritual is cast and denies yet another ghoul. ToD looking to finish up this shop. Going to create some distance, chasing the Lich back. Death Knight has plenty of coils left with the Lich's name on it if ToD so chooses to focus fire the Lich anymore. Back at the Expo, a couple farms being built to create some space between the towers and the attack.
Players' forces are under attack.
know, Archmage almost getting into a very dangerous position. Very exposed right now. Needs to be careful. INSUP so good at surrounding. You cannot tempt INSUP with a surround opportunity. Death Knight getting some extra chops off onto these footmen. One footy almost a death coil away, and is going to stutter step and dance around, trap this footy in as well. I don't believe that was denied. Bought the scroll regeneration. ToD back at the expo. In a pretty good defensive position here. I do like this base layout. If you could close this off right here, there's only really one way to come in. There's a little gap here as well. But the tower's in a great position to fend off any attack. I do like this a lot. So some nice Sim City from ToD on Tidehunters. Be a little bit harder to do that here. You could maybe try to close off here, but you have this way to come in, this way to come in, this way to come in. But over here, you really only have just here. So much more defensively placed Expo, at the cost of it being a little tougher to take. Meanwhile, another encounter about to go down. Stormbolt going off onto the ghouls, denied by INSUP via Dark Ritual yet again. A lot of Dark Rituals going out this game from INSUP, able to save and salvage a lot of his own units. Death Coil going out onto the Crypt Fiend. A nice Frost Nova onto the footy line, and one footy does fall. Going to be able to get this Crypt Fiend back just in time to be Death Coiled. And ToD not able to close and get any of these kills. Pops the Invuln pot preemptively before he gets surrounded. No more Boots of Speed. I believe the Boots was transferred to the Mountain King, so Mountain King able to escape quite easily. And ToD just going to right-click these statues, and both Water Elementals are going to fall. Blacksmith on the way up now as ToD just about on Tier 3. Blacksmith going to be done just in time, and look at that timing. Knights on the way. And again, I keep looking at this layout. I love it. I love it more and more the more I look at it. Tower's in a great position. Maybe you can even get another farm right here. Great Sim City by ToD. You can see how it's quite a bit harder to do that up here. They'll take down the Knoll camp. ToD will be granted with level 2, hopefully. If he was able to back that Archmage up, he would have certainly gotten level 2 on the Mountain King. Now going to back the Archmage up and collect the remainder of the XP. Not quite enough. I think the Archmage just soaked up a little too much. Has the Orb of Fire, has the Staff of Sanctuary. Staff of Sanctuary is a huge item for any human army. Now finishing off the remainder of this defensive line, the farms, and now look at this Expo. It is so well protected. Maybe a couple, maybe another tower or two right here. And how do you break this Expo if you're INSUP? I'd say you start with the Arcane Vault. Looks like INSUP is going to do that. That is your weakest building. That's the building you have a chance at actually breaking right now. Then you have access to the towers. ToD going to make it a little bit harder. Has the peasants there to repair. Has the gyros ready to go. I imagine we'll see a TP here any second now. ToD has to respect this. Here is the TP. One tower does fall. INSUP ready to defend. ToD is here now. Nice focus fire onto the Death Knight. Holy Light and a Stormbolt. As ToD doing what he can to push it back. 55 supply to 67 supply from INSUP. INSUP falling to 65 supply. The gyros starting to get webbed left and right. Crypt Fiends well equipped to deal with these gyros. Gyros well equipped to deal with the Obsidian statues. As Dark Ranger gets level 2. Dark Ranger taking Silence next. Silence quite effective against Mountain Kings and Paladins. So often able to get both of them in the same silence as they're both clumped up, usually in melee range. A nice Stormbolt onto the Death Knight again. Death Knight, only level 2, is susceptible to Focus Fire. Fires off another Death Coil onto the Crypt Fiends. Gyros falling left and right. Not able to close these kills. Does get one. The Knights finally getting some surface area onto the Crypt Fiends. Holy Light now, and some attention going on to the Crypt Fiends. Crypt Fiends have the Orb of Fire debuff. Going to take quite a bit of less healing from the Death Coil. Mountain King also getting focused, trying to get some damage onto the other Crypt Fiends. Another Stormbolt going off. Death Knight gets level 3, going to take level 2 Death Coil. iNSUP kiting very effectively right now, but ToD for the day wins his expo. Getting some more damage onto the Crypt Fiends. Another Death Coil, trying to salvage as much as he can. Knights making their way to the front. iNSUP is going to need to fear these Knights. ToD's going to need quite a bit more. Mountain King taking so much damage. He needs to be careful if Mountain King falls. No Holy Lights to be found. Not enough mana on the Paladin. Now the target is the Knights. He knows the Knights are his weakness right now. Knights will slaughter the Crypt Fiends. Gyros will slaughter the statues once they're morphed into Destroyer form. Holy Light going out onto the Priests. Priest staff back home. 56 supply to 71 supply. This game is so close, and we're only in game 1. ToD trying to repair a little bit of the expo. Has the double workshop. Gonna need quite a bit more lumber. Would love to see a couple more peasants built back at home. As another push from iNSUP. Only one guard tower to help out with this defense. Web, plenty of it to go around. There's at least one web for each gyro that even thinks about entering the battlefield. Level 5 Lich now has the level 3 Frost Armor. Going to be very effective, plus 7 armor. So much armor going around to this army. Paladin falls, only an Archmage remains. And it is looking more and more grim for our human champion, ToD. ToD doing what he can to make his last stand at his expo. Get a lot of focus fire onto the Lich, but Death Coil able to go off just in time. Mountain King getting focus fired yet again. Mountain King falling so fast, so low, so quickly. Gets out of there with 88 health. Now the focus fire onto the guard tower. Knights back in the battle again, but taking so much damage. And with each knight that falls, the Dark Minion is raised, courtesy of the Dark Ranger. GGWP from ToD. We're going to game 2. And a very nice game 1 performance by iNSUP, showing he's in great shape, showing he believes he has what it takes to go all the way and go the distance and find his way into the grand finals. So we'll update the scoreboard here. iNSUP takes game 1. I have to say, just a very good match played by both players. At the end of the day, iNSUP with the great timings, able to crack the expo. Able to get it done. ToD not able to defend. Will be looking to correct his mistakes in game 2 on Last Refuge. We'll be heading in there in just a moment. Gonna check up on the rest. Make sure we're not missing anything anywhere. Doesn't look like it. All right, looks like everything's all caught up. Let's head into the action. Game 2, INSUP versus ToD. INSUP is up 1-0 on Last Refuge. And INSUP with a very well-played game. Last game had plenty of fiends, and I don't believe ToD had enough knights. He went for the spell breakers. Try to control some of the skellies. Try to handle and deal with some of the mana. But I do wonder if spell breakers were the right call. Maybe, perhaps, more knights. Just stick to the basics. I didn't see anything fancy coming from INSUP. So maybe just sticking to a couple priests, because you do have to deal with the skeletons. I think maybe priest to spell could have been enough, but if maybe ToD was trying to control magic, some of the skellies. Perhaps. The scout farm, as ToD always likes to do. Let's see what creep route we do see from ToD. Maybe a boom, 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 the trifecta fast expo. INSUP sending a couple ghouls downstream, going to meet the scout footman.
A player's forces are under attack.
ToD getting started. 5 militia pulled at the start. Gonna get a circlet. Definitely a welcomed item. No ring of ToD. This time, Lich. No fast expo for him. He's just gonna go straight to disrupt ToD.
A town is under siege.
And ToD gonna pull the Murlocs around the bend. Really nice, creating some safe distance here. INSUP gonna be trying to snipe some of these Murlocs down with Frost Nova. Murloc's gonna return home. ToD gonna back up slightly. Here with 4 militia at the moment. And INSUP doing what he came here to do. He's gonna steal creeps. He did steal that. And he's going to try... I don't believe he got that one. Nice deny by ToD. And basically what INSUP is trying to do now is prevent the expo. ToD transitioning potentially into just teching. Has the Arcane Vault at home. And that was weird. He aggroed the creep, but the creep went for INSUP's army anyway. Very interesting. INSUP able to snipe some of those creeps, but not all of them. Level 2 goes to the Archmage. Very nice push from INSUP, doing what he came here to do, prevent the expo. ToD going to have to transition potentially into just a tech. Gonna train another peasant. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's a lot. He might be going for the expo. He is going to go for the expo. Or he's going to go for the Merc camp. Not quite sure yet. Going past the Merc camp. Has the Fog of War here. INSUP can't see this. But he's going to wander over anyway. INSUP has to know this is happening. And ToD's going to try to take this expo right in INSUP's face. So many ghouls, so many skeleton minions are here to prevent the militia from getting any surface area onto the creeps. INSUP doing tons of damage to the militia. Not able to be denied by ToD. ToD focus firing onto the Lich now. Lich down to 40% health, has to start being a little more cautious. Gonna have to respect this right clicking from ToD of the Archmage. Pushing back the ghouls. 5 ghouls, a couple wounded, gonna be heading down towards the main base, potentially going to disrupt some of the peasant backline. Plenty of peasants here to start building a town hall. Has plenty of resources to do it as well. Lich going to wrap around, loop around. And maybe pay a visit to the main base. Able to take down the ghoul. Gonna get back to work as the Lich bought the staff, popped the rejuve potion. It's actually a very nice item for right now. Health and mana being rejuvenated. And it's going to take down the Troll Priest camp. ToD looking for level 3. He's going to take down these camps while his Expo is being built. ToD going to head on down south. Look for the Lich. Cho Namath. Jets legend. ToD trying to close out some of these ghoul kills. iNSUP taking Dark Ritual again like he has the past couple games. Really good deny tool while also feeding some mana into the Lich. iNSUP taking a lot of damage on his Lich, and now down to 50% health again, just like that. A couple right clicks from the Archmage results in just so much damage, now down to 30%. Archmage has the level 3 he's looking for. Level 2 Water Elemental is going to start being incredibly dangerous against iNSUP. Archmage pressing into the easier green camps of iNSUP. Going to make it harder for the Death Knight to get level 2. And ToD knows this. If he can take down some of these easier green camps, also got the claws, so it's sitting at plus 12 right now due to the circlet and the 2 claws. Dealing quite a bit of damage. Will he be able to get the deny? Not quite. Is going to be able to get the deny and secures it.
Player's forces are under attack.
Water Elemental's dealing a lot of damage, but the Death Knight going to have a hard time getting level 2. Where did the Lich go? Oh, the Lich is up here. Skeleton Warrior up at the main base. Staff of Teleportation into the main base of ToD, and a nice Frost Nova onto the majority of the peasant line. Peasants taking a lot of damage, and another Frost Nova will be available soon if he can stay here for enough time. ToD going to try to lock in a surround. Does get the 3-point surround against the trees. The Lich going to be forced to TP back home. It's a very nice peasant micro from ToD back home, making the best of a crappy situation of the Lich showing up unexpected. 3 scout towers going down, 2 arcanes. Going to be able to handle a lot of those skeleton warriors. Death Coil going onto the Lich. iNSUP now sitting quite safe in his main base. And ToD going to continue to take out some of these green camps to make it that much harder for iNSUP to get level 2 on the Death Knight. Death Knight still sitting at 0 XP at almost the 9-minute mark. Lich is level 3, sitting comfortably, has level 2 Nova. ToD going to wrap up this creep camp. No more green creeps for iNSUP around his main base. Has the level 2 Water Elemental, dealing a lot of damage. The Death Coil saves it. ToD potentially going to hang around just to get a deny on this Water Elemental, but instead did try to loop back around and secure the deny, but not going to overextend. It's not a risk he wants to take. 1 Frost Nova and a surround from iNSUP would be a wasted TP and a big setback for ToD. He knows this.
A player's forces are under
Is
attack.
going to tier 2. Has the Mountain King in production. Scout Tower going down at the main base. Has the Lumber Mill. Would need a couple more peasants. They're being trained right now. And iNSUP has ToD knocking at the back door. Another nice Dark Ritual deny from iNSUP. Frost Nova onto the footies. Only 4 footies remain, and a level 2 Water Elemental who is entangled, dealing with the Troll Trappers back at the natural. This would be quite good if ToD could claim the remaining creeps at this mine. There's really not much for iNSUP to creep in the safe zone, which is the bottom part of this map. iNSUP has to start creeping at riskier locations, like the Merchant.
A player's forces are under attack.
Going to try to take down the Tomb of Relics. Might have enough damage to do so, but 2 and 3 now Acolytes, hoping they can turn the tide of this attack. This would be a nice pick-off for ToD. Has the damage to do it. And will be able to claim the Tomb of Relics, and is now going to turn his attention over to the Crypt Fiends. Crypt Fiends take quite a bit of damage from the Footman. Deal amplified damage to the normal armor. Crypt Fiends, Archmage trying to secure the kill with the Nerubian Towers, slowing everything in sight. Footy's falling one by one. No defend, but are able to take a Crypt Fiend down for consolation. Footy's going to stay in the main base, try to take down an Acolyte as well. The Rubian Tower is now going to shift focus onto the remaining Footmen. All Footmen have died. Meanwhile, back at the main battle, Footy's continuing to concentrate the Crypt Fiends. Dark Ritual denying the Crypt Fiends. More Skeleton Warriors are being raised. Going to need to see some Priests coming from ToD soon. Some sort of deny capabilities. Dispel capabilities, especially if a Dark Ranger comes up. But no Dark Ranger this time. We're going to see the Pit Lord. Pit Lord's specialty, breaking in Expos. So we will see if the Pit Lord will show up. A nicely cast Rain of Fire is going to be able to deal damage to a lot of these buildings all at once, including the peasants repairing them. And no Skeleton Warriors stand a remote chance at cracking this Expo. A fourth tower going up and a defensive farm as well. Pit Lord going to try to bring his talents to the main base. Tier 3 online Knights are going to be started any second now, and the Gyros need to start coming as well. iNSUP sees this and is trying to seize an opportunity to cancel the workshop. Arcane Vault certainly going to fall right now, and that's going to be quite inconvenient, but another one at the Expo, not the end of the world for ToD. Has the level 2 on the Mountain King, takes Bash. Needs to respect this attack from iNSUP. iNSUP cracking in the main base, Rain of Fire going down onto the Peasants. Peasants power repairing the Arcane Tower. Arcane Tower draining as much of the mana from the Deathblade as possible. Meanwhile, the statue replenishing the mana as fast as possible. MK has plenty of mana for Storm Bolts. Trying to focus fire the statue. Another Death Coil going to go off onto the Pit Lord to heal it back up. Archmage trying to deny the Footman, not quite able to time it right. ToD at 39 supply now, iNSUP at 48. iNSUP making a promising push right now. Paladin is out. Knights in production. If ToD can hold off for just a little bit longer, the Knights will come and save the day against the Crypt Fiends. Crypt Fiends taking quite a bit of damage. First Knight is out. Holy Light seals the deal. Stormbolt and now the Sundering Blade Knights able to do so much damage against these Crypt Fiends. One more Crypt Fiend falls. iNSUP knows now is the time to retreat as the supply gap has evened and now swung into ToD's favor. And a nice defense there from ToD, sending the Paladin back home early to get healed up. Sending him home early will spend less time stuck and attached to the Town Hall.
A player's forces are under attack.
Archmage one tiny critter away from level 4. 2 Knights on the field, 3 Knights on the field. I believe this was one of the missed opportunities of ToD last game. Just stick to the basics. Knights, Gyros. iNSUP going with the standard army. Fiends, statues, no Expo. ToD can now make the turn of the tide he's been looking for. Temple of the Damned coming up soon. Going to see Possession Banshees on the field. What do we get? A plus 12 claws for Cho Namath. This is one deadly Lich. ToD hoping he can get a claws plus 12 himself. Or a nice Juicy, or a nice Stormbolt onto the Ogre Lord. Ogre Lord not getting any damage done onto this army. I think 3 auto attacks and a Shockwave on just 1 Knight. Hood of the Cunning, not quite the item that he's looking for, but not the worst. I would say iNSUP definitely got the better share of that loot. iNSUP not even going to waste his time on the lonesome troll. Flying Machine sitting at the laboratory of iNSUP. iNSUP checking this out, going to see it's recently been crept, sees the corpses there, knows ToD was here recently.
A player's forces are under attack.
And iNSUP going to try to crack this Expo. It's going to be quite difficult. Arcane Tower's dealing a lot of damage to the heroes, siphoning a lot of mana. Guard Tower also siphoning a lot of mana from the Pit Lord. Pit Lord now down to 90 mana, just like that. ToD down, creeping up the laboratory, going to claim the item for himself. iNSUP able to crack 2 of the towers. Both arcane towers are now down. Guard towers continuing to do work against the Crypt Fiends. Crypt Fiends being healed up from the statue. ToD has a scroll, but opting not to use it. iNSUP has now cracked into the main base. And ToD choosing not to TP back home, walking on over, leading the charge with 3 knights and a couple heroes. And that's it. And you see just how much damage these knights do to Crypt Fiends, but not quite fast enough. Leaves the statues behind. This is a big mistake from iNSUP. If ToD can close a couple of these statues, that'd be big losses for iNSUP. Frost Nova going to help stagger and slow down the army of ToD. iNSUP back home sees that the laboratory was crept. All of these creep steals add up as now ToD can safely creep this and maybe get his paladin to level 3. He's instead going to share XP between all the heroes. Oh no, he is going to pull back both of these heroes. He wants the level 3 on the paladin. The level 2 Holy Light is a big power spike. He will get level 3 from this. A Book of the Dead also available and will be quite helpful in the next battle if there is no Devour on the statues. 3-3-4, just about to be level 5. Could get it from these two, maybe, if he pulled back the other heroes. iNSUP really looking for level 5 right now. Can get it down here in one of the last remaining creep camps. And as we saw ToD do last game, bringing out a breaker or 2. Breaker's going to be helpful. Extra front line, be able to deal with the heroes, be able to deal with any summons. Still have Rods of Necromancy on the field. Also going to be able to help out with the Banshees. Going to be able to steal Curse. And here we are into the very tricky late game of human versus undead. You have Possession to deal with. Anti-Magic Shell. Curse. Fiends. Potentially A-Bombs. And here they are. So this is where things get tricky as the human. If you don't crack the undead by this point in the game gets vastly more difficult. Here we are, iNSUP going to push in the Expo once again. Has the space here to do it, courtesy of the push last time he was here. Rain of Fire coming down onto the Peasant backline. Peasants moving out, dealing plenty of damage to the guard towers as well. Anti-Magic Shell going to be able to prevent a lot of magic damage. Courtesy of the Storm Bolts, courtesy of the Holy Lights. Mortar teams in position to deal with the Banshees. Banshee's going to be trying to possess the Knights. Banshees have enough mana to do it. Knights in vulnerable position. They need to be careful. Very exposed right now to possessions. Mortar teams trying to close out the Banshees. Another Banshee is closed out. Staff back home is the Knight. Knights trying to focus fire onto the Crypt Fiends, getting plenty of surface area onto the Crypt Fiends. No Banshees able to steal any Knights at the moment. Banshees not in position. Now with no more mana to steal any more Knights. Now a lot of damage going out onto the Crypt Lord. Death Coil will be available for the Crypt Lord. Does get it off in time. Pit Lord now with 400 health. Needs to be careful. First statue will fall. One statue remains. And finally ToD getting some surface area. Staffs the Paladin back home. Mortar teams continue to fire off long-range missiles. Water Elemental in the front as a distraction. Going to be pulling them back. And right now it looks like ToD finally has all the breathing room he was looking for. Has a Storm Bolt locked and loaded, ready to go. But there's also a Death Coil. Going to use it onto the Lich. Lich taking quite a bit of damage from the auto attacks from the Knights. Death Coil goes out, but the Lich taking so much damage now. Focus fire onto the Pit Lord. Pit Lord expected to fall. Coming right now. Pit Lord. The Frost Armor wasn't quite enough. GG is called. We're going to game 3. Well played. We're going to game 3. This is a series. This is a series. These are the best of 3s we like. What's the game name? What is the game name?
And I'm like, yeah, this.
Oh, it's up 3. Okay. All right, I'm going to go grab a drink while we wait for this game to start. Don't go anywhere. Oof, what a match. What a best of 3 we have on our hands. ToD versus INSUP, the great rivalry. Once enemies, now friends. And we're going the distance. Love to see it. Love to see it. And we're going Northern Isles. I expect INSUP to be pulling Lich out again. As he so much likes to do, but I would also love to see Crypt Lord this map. Look at these avatars. Oh, and what a series we have so far. Tied up 1-1. ToD versus INSUP. We're going the distance. We're in game 3 out of 3 in the semifinals. Winner goes on to the grand finals in a shot at the 100 Buckers and the EPT points. Who is going to take the semifinals and find their way into the grand finals? Find out right here on Northern Isles. A really great game, too, from ToD, correcting his mistakes from game 1. Game 1, not enough Knights. He had a couple extra breakers. He was hoping to use them to help out with the additional Skeleton Warriors he had to deal with, courtesy of the Dark Ranger. But the Pit Lord, maybe not the best hero of choice for INSUP. Not as effective as he would have liked. Archmage, hero of choice for ToD. No surprise there. Lich, the INSUP specialty. Go. ToD going to go for the Tuskar camp first. No scout. Bringing both footies over. Meanwhile, INSUP raising all the skeletons, going for the fast expo.
A player's forces are under attack.
got the potion of invuln, the big boy potion of invuln. As INSUP looking to take down the remainder of the natural. ToD going for the Murloc camp now. And we'll almost certainly see him fast expoing behind this. And he's going to bring the militia down to creep out the Ogre Null camp. Get an early start on that. And Lich making his way down. INSUP. Preemptively getting ready, killing the critters, raising all the skeleton warriors that he can. But ToD,
A player's forces
not
are
quite
under
going to go for the fast expo. Not right now, at least. Is going to meet the Lich,
A town is under siege.
but is going to pull the boys to push him back. Some peasants are going to fall and pay the price. Archmage is here to try to get some surface area onto this gold mine. ToD is going to be able to cancel this too. So very nice as the Lich comes down
A player's
to
forces
deal
are
with
under
ToD's
attack.
presumed expo, which is not there. ToD able to go and cancel INSUPs and take an Acolyte down as a consolation prize. INSUP going to finish off the remaining footmen if he can. Secure these kills. Not quite. Targeting now the next weakest footy. Going to be drawn back.
A player's forces are under attack.
And now the Archmage level 3 now has everything he needs for an effective harassment in the Rubian Tower quite late. This takes down one more Acolyte. One Acolyte sitting in the top right. This ghoul has the Archmage's name on it. And going to be able to secure that kill. One more kill for ToD as INSUP making his way back home. Sold the TP. So has no quick way to get back. ToD checking on the expo, making sure it's not coming up. Neither player in a Northern Isles human versus undead has an expo. How often do you see that? INSUP finally able to clean up the remainder of ToD's early attack. Has 5 Acolytes now back on the mine. And Footman's just going to stay here and force INSUP to have to respect it. You leave this footy here for the next 5 minutes, that thing eventually dies. And INSUP's going to have to hear about it on his mini-map. Secures another kill, and I believe also claimed the Scroll of the Beast, so did get the item, but is going to get surrounded. Has the Invul Pot from the earlier Tuskar camp, and now INSUP has to flee back. Has the Ritual to be able to secure some more mana and deny some kills from ToD. The level 2 Water Elemental's doing so much damage to the ghouls. Another footy falls, and another ghoul is denied, courtesy of the Dark Ritual. Archmage taking a little bit of damage, needs to be careful. Footman continues to chip away at the Necropolis. Water Elementals deal so much damage, and now they have Roar, plus 9 damage to the ghouls. Going to be able to close out some of these kills. ToD trying to get some more damage done. Not quite able to do it at the moment. Going to need to back off for the time being and maybe go on and help the footy secure this Necropolis kill. And here we are back at home. ToD has the Blacksmith up. It's never often that you see a human going one base against undead, especially on Northern Isles. Nor is it common to see undead going one base against human on Northern Isles. You see some Crypt Lords here. You even see some early expos with Death Knight or Lich. But not this time, not here. Mountain King going to do what he does best, creep up the natural expo. I expect the Archmage to be pulled back.
A player's forces
Waiting
are
for the
under attack.
militia to come on in, waiting for the boys. Archmage is going to be pulled back. Want to get this MK up to level 3 as soon as possible. Solo creeping. The naturals will help do that. Footy continues to chop away at the necropolis. I think it's been about 3 minutes so far. I said it would be about 5 minutes to take this out. 6 damage per slice. 7 damage per slice. Got a lot more work to do. Archmage going to be able to fend off, and they're going to be able to secure some of these kills, but Dark Ritual is going to be able to prevent this one. Instead, just a normal deny. Well timed by iNSUP. Nice deny. Has the Dark Ritual. Oh, it's on cooldown. That's why I wasn't able to use that. A nice Stormbolt onto the Lich. Going to get some damage onto it. Thunderclap also onto the ghouls. Mountain King able to secure some of these kills. Dark Ritual is going to be here just in time for this. Tried to secure with the Death Coil. Not able to time it.
Town is under siege.
Dark Ritual is still available. Meanwhile, back at home, Skeleton Warriors going to town onto the farms. Archmage has to get back, wants to get out of here, not before a last gift from the Mountain King, a Stormbolt. All right, Peasants, long distance mining. I would expect them to stop right here, but they don't. Instead, the Paladin is going to be purchased. Or not the Paladin, but the what was bought for 300 gold. Perhaps the Orb and Staff, if he didn't have it already. Staff on the Mountain King, very interesting choice. Perhaps fearing the nuke, the Coil Nova nuke, especially on a wounded Archmage like this. Staff will be able to preserve that Archmage, but without an Archmage in the battle, you're not going to get as much mana regen. It's going to be much harder to stabilize and remain. Can he get a 3-point surround here? Is going to try to get some body blocks on the Mountain King. Mountain King trying to body block as much as possible. Holy Light also going off. Got the parry up. Did he drop that? Wait. Did he just drop the parry up and the Mountain King picked it up?